Good morning, traders. Jefferson Fawcett here with Walls Trading. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Today is Wednesday, October 8th. It's a couple ticks here after 7:45 here in the morning. Grain markets just finished their overnight trade. Please keep in mind futures trading does involve substantial amounts of risk, certainly not suitable for all investors, traders, or producers. Let's take a look and see what happened here yesterday, what happened in the markets overnight, and what may happen here today. Starting off here, well, that's the gold chart here. It's up another, what, $52 this morning, $53 higher, $4,057 an ounce. Gold zooming. But let's start off here with the live cattle. Here, December contract yesterday finishing up $1.05, closing 237.72. My short-term averages, the 5-10-day average, did flip back to the buy side here with yesterday's trade. Pretty strong volume here on the day, not huge like we saw here a couple 2.5 weeks or so ago, but about the strongest we've seen since then. Nice little strong move up. Market held 50-day moving average support here over the last 10 days or so. We're bouncing away from that now. There is a little bit of trend line resistance perhaps. Today I'd have that number right around 239.70 to 240 even, somewhere in that range. 240 is a nice big fat round number here as well. But I think the market does want to firm up and does want to head through that. Nice strong move yesterday. Cattle markets look they want to go higher still. November feeders kind of led the way. They were up 345 yesterday. Breaking up above trend line resistance here. Contract high close for the November feeders contracts. Back months did that too. January was up there as well. New contract high close for that as well. Feeder market stayed very, very strong, breaking out to the upside here. 370, and long run I think we're heading up toward $4 or so, but it might take a long way. It may take a little while to get there. I know it's going to be a long while, but it's going to take a little while. Volume was very heavy here yesterday, a little over 13,000 contracts here in feeders. Technically strong. Market does look like it wants to go higher here, in my opinion. December lean hogs down $1.10 yesterday, closing right at that 50-day moving average support. Settlement was at 86.17. That 50-day average just below that here at 86.09. So we've tested that 50-day average here 3 times out of the last 4 sessions, closed just above it here yesterday. I don't know that that's a particularly positive sign. I would like to believe that the 50-day moving average is going to hold as support, but we may trade down to that 100-day. That's down around that 84.50 or so range. Also got a little bit of trend line support here right around 84.75 or so is where I'd peg that today. Hog market looks a little bit weak. Stochastics pointing toward lower prices, as is the MACD, and short-term averages did flip to the bearish side here last Thursday. Decent corn up 0.75% here overnight, 420.5. Yesterday ran up to 424.5, kind of faded away from that 100-day moving average there. Again, that's still offering strong resistance. Today I've got that number at 423.5. Short-term averages, the 5 and the 10-day did hook to the buy side here this morning. We'll have to make sure that the market stays strong here so that signal's maintained here throughout the day. Not a whole lot of fundamental information out there other than the harvest is progressing nicely here. I know farmers are waiting to find out what the government may or may not do as far as ag price relief. I don't know, corn market, I think it wants to go higher here a little bit still, but it's got to break out of this 100-day to 50-day trading range. Again, that's 423.5 down to 415 or so. November soybeans up 3.5 cents here this morning, getting right back into that resistance level between the 50, the 200, and the 100-day moving averages. Those are giving you resistance here from about 10.29, maybe a little bit of support from the 50-day now here at 10.25. Finishing the overnight session here 10.25 half. Short-term averages flipped to the bullish side here last Friday's trade. Volume's not been great here the last couple of days. Bean market, guys are going to lose a lot going on. Harvest is going on for corn and soybeans. Most of the producers that I talk to, as long as they're not getting rained down a little bit, they're working pretty hard. Long days of harvest right now. Still going to offer a little bit of pressure to the market, but I do think soybeans tend to rally here this time of year. And again, the short-term averages are on the buy side. December soy meal is down a whole tick here this morning, 276.80. Yesterday it was down 2 ticks at 276.90. Not a whole lot of direction on a close-to-close basis here this week so far. Short-term averages turned on the buy side here with Monday's trade. Did spike down here, get down to about 275 here with the overnight low, but finishing $1.80 off of that. I think that's relatively supportive. Just like soybeans, soy meal tends to run higher from now until about the end of the year. Same thing here with December soy meal. It's up 37 here this morning, been working its way higher pretty steadily all week. Short-term averages did flip to the buy side here in bean oil last Friday. Thursday last week, you had that equilibrium day at Doji. Got a directional close finally here yesterday to the upside. That tells me that the market does want to work its way higher. That's usually a bullish kind of a sign, or at least a directional sign when we get a directional close outside of that Doji range. One thing that might be a little bit bearish, you do have the 50 and the 100 day making a little bit of a bearish crossover up around that 52-cent range. Stochastics pointing higher, seasonals pointing higher. I do like bean oil from the long side. Wheat market contract low close here yesterday, settling at 506 3/4 in the Chicago December contract, down 6 cents. This morning we're up about 1/4. There isn't a whole lot bullish to be talking about here, and the wheat market continues to grind itself lower. KC wheat, same thing, contract low close here yesterday, down at 492, where we dropped 3.5 cents. This morning it's down just another 0.5 cent here at 491.5. Yeah, not a whole lot to be bullish about there. Stochastics pointing lower. MACD is weak. Yeah, wheat needs a better story. The only other market that I've got a new signal in here this morning is the U.S. dollar index here. That's 19.5 higher. We're trading at the highest we've been here since the beginning of August. So we're making basically 2-month highs here. There was a little bit of selling pressure. We got up to 98.71, and we're still kind of stuck in the trading range here that we've been in here since beginning of June, roughly. Market does look strong. All the moving averages right now are pointing toward higher prices, at least the nearby ones. 200 days still way up there at 100.53 or so. But 5-10 day averages crossing to the bullish side. We're trading above the 50, above the 100. Maybe the dollar wants to rally here a little bit as well. That's what I've got time for here today, folks. I do appreciate you listening. Yeah, stop back tomorrow.